Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Overthrowing and this is Crusader Kings 3. Today we're looking at a man that I underestimated. In the last episode we of course were waging war, we were busy, we were occupied elsewhere. But some of you noticed something that I completely missed, and that is the fact that Pope Innocentius II, the man that you can see right here, isn't all that innocent, and I would argue actually is indeed the opposite of what a pope should be. When we're looking at him, we are of course, legitimately looking at the shepherd of Christianity, but a number of you pointed out that maybe he shouldn't be just that. Pope Innocentius II is, and this is what I did notice in the last episode, he is sadistic, and that is very bad. It's a sin. It's not a good thing, but that in itself, you know, if he doesn't act on it, then who cares, right? It doesn't really matter all that much, except he is fickle, he is cynical, and you can see right here that he has killed several people. Now, yes, they died in captivity, but I have to tell you that, I don't exactly trust a pope that lets people rot in his prison. And you know what, it actually makes me wonder, there's no killing right here with Pope Stephanus V. You can see it here, others have killed, but he hasn't done anything. And then we have Innocentius, who is indeed just into the first 3 years of his tenure, and he already is an absolute monster. I agree with the comments that pointed out maybe Pope Innocentius II should be knocked out. I took a good look at Emperor Philippe the Great. He's not zealous, and although he has been a good servant of the church, I think he has a moment now that he returns home from the war in the east, and he has a moment where he says, wait a minute, this guy shouldn't sit where my best friend Pope Stephanus sat. He doesn't deserve to sit on the same throne. And that is the way I feel about it, and I think on a meta level, on a world development level, if we were to oust Pope Innocentius II, we would essentially be looking at, you know, the shift of power from the papacy into the empire. So instead of the papacy indeed leading the empire would then be in control, and that would even more justify the last nickname that apparently came, by the way. This nickname apparently stems from the fact that he indeed was the last of this tiny house. You can see they were basically just mayors, but interesting to see that that is where the nickname comes from. We will of course interpret it in a bit of a broader fashion. Anyway, that aside, now you might ask, okay, you want to oust him, but how do you actually do that? There's no anti-popes, there's no papal ousting, CB, you know, none of that exists. And I took a good look at it, and it just so happens that as I start this episode, Duchess Elizabeth of Romagna is fighting a tyranny war against Pope Innocentius II, and in any other situation we would ignore this. Yes, she's family and such, however, you know, we are looking at a situation where we really can't trust the Pope. She's a fornicator, she has sinned, she has to, you know, basically pay the price for these sins. I completely acknowledge and agree with this, but if Pope Innocentius II is the one to hand out justice, you know what is coming for him. Pope Innocentius II, I think, can't be allowed to punish a boss Garancia, and to punish Duchess Elizabeth in particular here. We need to act against him, and we need to indeed make it so that a fairer soul, a better shepherd of Christianity judges Duchess Elizabeth. That is the goal, and I took a look at the council as well. You know, I debated Empress Ebba. I don't think that she would get active here. She has always been very quiet when it comes to these sort of affairs. She is largely just busy running the empire itself. Patriarch Eneko, I think, should be our pick for, you know, the next pope. So the way I see this is, we're going to oust him by aiding her in the war against, you know, for the tyranny here. And then when we oust him, a random character will take over, and I will counsel Patriarch Eneko to then take that character's titles. Because a random pope taking over, it's less sensible, I can't talk today, it's way less sensible than, you know, us actually instituting our own pope. Now, will I take any benefits out of this? No. Us instituting Patriarch Eneko will simply be roleplay. We won't draw any, you know, mechanical benefits from this. Either way, I looked at the council, none of them are zealous. We do have an afraid Tommaso here, who I think would argue against this war because he directly borders the papacy, but beyond that, I think everybody is quite alright with taking this step. And with that being said, honestly, let's just declare war. We shall declare war in a two-stage campaign. The way we do it is, we will first reclaim Barcelona. We're doing this in a fashion, you know, where basically we say, hey, the papacy shouldn't be meddling in Iberia. This is an imperial affair, and the empire has to assert itself. And with that, we will reclaim Barcelona, we will hand it to our vassal, and then we will be aiding the Duchess of Romagna. So we will take a bit of a hit here. Shouldn't surprise you too much, though. We've broken truces, we've done all these things. I don't mind actually losing the devotion here, losing that penalty, which makes us move away from Paragon of Virtue quite a bit, but I gotta be honest with you, isn't that in character? Isn't that something where you'd look at it and you say, yeah, this pure, this completely innocent point of view is definitely not how the world sees Emperor Philippe the Great here. Well, Emperor Philippe the Great sees this as an act that has to be taken, you know, to oust this depravity, Pope Innocentius II. The rest of the world may see this as a power grab. All of a sudden, us no longer being a saint, you know, a saint candidate, but just a fella that maybe you gotta be a bit suspicious about. Let's raise our troops, let's siege them, and as we go, we will of course be seeing the completion here of the buildings in Carcassonne and then right here in Saint-Genian. We're going to take a look at that throughout the episode, so be excited for that. Anyway, let's start this war, let's get it done. Paying for war. Wars are expensive, and with my treasury rapidly emptying, I need to think about how I will pay to keep my soldiers on the field of battle. Raising additional taxes wouldn't be a good idea. I am a great war leader. I'm not just a great fighter, I'm a great strategist. I should be capable of cutting non-essential military expenditures. You know what? Let's take a look at this. I improve the efficiency of my military budget. You gain efficiently supplied army. Now that is actually excellent. Look at that. For 3 years. Wow. That war here should go quite well then. Oh, and graceful aging. Very nice. You lost a war. What happened here? Truce for 5 years, which was won by High Chieftain Eustachi. Ah, it was a subjugation war. So he attempted to subjugate him and he lost. Yeah, Eustachi, what is that nickname? The Beloved of Kelmno. Kemno? I'm actually not sure. I assume just that he is very popular, right? Popular opinion is not actually very high. Who knows? And we did pick up a new stewardship perk here. Centralization is honestly great. We have a steward in Carcassonne to build it up, and our capital is still in Lapordis and Bayona. I would like this. We're not really collecting taxes. I don't think that is something that is actively going on. You know what? Let's pick up centralization here, and maybe it is actually time to shift back into warfare. Although, I could see ourselves going towards theology just to understand what we are doing here. To basically, maybe not to understand what we're doing here, maybe to show the world, right, that yes, we are waging war against the Pope, but we are a good Christian. We're a good Catholic. We want to believe in it. I think we might want to shift into this. I like that justification there. We could, of course, go with Gallant here. And honestly, I'm looking at this. We are waging active war, no matter how I look at it. It's just, he's never been a person that is all that well read. That is Nuno, of course. Nuno is in a position where he's a mastermind philosopher. He's an expert on these matters. We are not. And I think with that, it actually is something that is very hard to justify as much as I was trying there. I will, of course, repair the sturdy throne. I don't really see a reason why not. We are losing so little money. We should be in a good spot, especially with us, of course, sieging and taking the funds here. Let me check this. I need just this one. Yes. You go up there, you siege this, and then the rest restore your supplies, please. And she has finished her education. She's a Grey Eminence. That is outstanding. I really and sincerely hope, since they will be AI, that Nuno and his wife will be the imperial power couple that they need to be. He has a very, very strong alliance here with Ida, making it so that, of course, you know, with this alliance, he has a strong ally in the north that hopefully makes it so that none of the Franks will actually rebel. But, man, I really hope, I think they complement one another so well. Let's hope that they can work that out and be a good imperial royalty. They really have been built for this, haven't they? Salt in the wound. What is this? Tybalt watched him for a while, so a criminal in the pillory. When he did nothing but cough and beg for water, Tybalt rolled his eyes and kept on walking. I do think that with this war being won against sadism, that Emperor Philippe the Great currently thinks a lot about the virtue of compassion, and Tybalt doing what he's doing is not adequate. Child, bring the poor man the water he asks for. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to take the stress here, for sure. Alright, so the sieges here have been finished. Now, we aren't losing much money, but I don't really want to pay for the boats. Let's walk, right? Let's take a long walk over here, please, I beg you. Who's that guy that is constantly going, no, I should take the boats, just me. Don't do that, okay? Instead, we will actually go on, we will march over here, and they do have a very healthy amount of troops these days, the Papals, don't they? If we can catch them off guard here, I didn't purposely. I didn't call in any of my vassals or any of my allies, I should say. I didn't do that because this is an imperial war, if you will, right? I would really... Ooh, it would be nice if we catch just these 10k. They seem fairly isolated. Where are they going here? Yeah, you know what? Let's march into this there. Okay. You're taking the boats. If I can catch you here, I mean, look at that. Yeah, they're like 6, 7k that are just over here, are very far away. I think we may want to catch them early here, and I need to find myself, if I may. Am I in one of these armies? Yes, I am. Okay, you can leave. I will be commanding this, and we will march straight into them. I will catch them right here. We will have a very difficult initial phase. It has to be said. There is a risk attached to this. Yes, this says we will clearly win, yada yada, but these 12k are far, far away. But I want to catch them here. I assume, I have to bet that they're trying to go over here, right, to unsiege this. We could even utilize that in our favor, right? But let's instead just focus on taking them down where they are. I think this should be viable. We're a holy warrior, not... Oh. Really? Now I understand why it said, yeah, we caught them off guard here, but it doesn't really do all that much for us. They're going to try and unsiege this. Can we catch these 7k? That would be a grand victory as well. Don't even get it twisted. We will be capturing you. And I will be destroying you. Let me just put myself in charge here, of course. There you go. We caught them, and indeed that will be the death sentence for these 6k troops. It's just excellent that they split here. We had a really great attempt at defeating them. Oh, and they are coming for my capital. Wow. Who do you think you are? Oh, and look at that. Let's take a quick look at this, by the way. The fortifications are actually indeed aiding us. Look at that. Maximum 3 years left. Do we have any siege equipment here? That explains why it takes so long. But yeah, the Imperial fortifications have been built. They're fairly small. This is the Castle of Assen, if I'm not mistaken there. There you go. And then up here, there it is. The beautiful, beautiful Cathedral of Saint-Jean has been built. Isn't this one nice? Isn't that beautiful? That is where, going forward, every single king of the Aquitanians, the Franks, the Bretons, and the Burgundians will be crowned, before they then, of course, make their way to Rome. I love this asset. I got this from the buildings mod. It's on the workshop, but I modified it, of course, so that I could build it in this province. Absolutely gorgeous. I love this building. And that will be, of course, now a permanent piece, a permanent memory set, I could say, of our success when it comes to reforming the empire. Now, you are... The best target is definitely him. We need to interrupt his siege as well. Secret exposed. What is this? Countess Berenguela, of having had an extramarital affair with her lover Jaspert. Right. I am not sure that I know who you are. You're a French lady, right? Obviously, it is a crime. No doubt about it. She is married and everything. But yet again, the church, of course, has to decide what exactly happens to her. I will punish her by imprisoning her. And then I will see whether she can ransom herself. She will pay me, basically, so that I will suspend any immediate punishment. And she can hopefully work her sin off by talking to the Pope. We could fight him here, but I would rather fight this fella, of course, because, you know, this would make us the defender. Child of my dynasty, Gonzal, born to Nuno and Borgogne. The first child is already a given, and that is excellent, because it does mean, of course, that, you know, these two are strong, a good couple. And let's take a look at this. Are we capturing them here? We are. Oh, this is going to be a tight fight, no matter what we do here. But it is our fight. And we will be in the defending position here. Yep, it's an equal fight. I had no doubt about that. But we caught them very nicely here in the sense that, you know, they were isolated. Of course, their 10k that are coming in late and are already on the back foot, basically. I think we have this. I think we should have this. Yes. Oh my god, it was a tight fight. Don't get it twisted. Oh, but we are winning. Man, that is satisfying. What is this? Your vassals attack each other. Really. It's infighting in Barcelona, not really much I think that I can do here. What is this for? It is the border raid of Girona. Right, you are actually in the Iberian struggle. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Again, not something I think that we can currently get involved in as we beat the papal troops near Carcassonne. The Battle of Béziers shall be remembered. We're at 99%. I think we're going to get some ticking war score here in a second. What is this marriage? We have a marriage. Ah, yes, of course. It is the marriage with Horvatska. I will gladly accept this marriage, because this will mean long-term that Horvatska would fall into our family. Whether it does, I mean, I'm not going to babysit this, right? But the idea is that we are bringing Horvatska, you know, the Croatians, under our control. That is the fundamental idea here, and I think I really do like that one. There you go. This birth, or rather this marriage, has been created. And now, if I'm not misjudging this, yes, this war is still going. It's a tight one, but it's still going. We will get ticking war score, meaning we will now go in, attempt... Yes, we will finish this war. We get this done. Barcelona has now control of this. Very, very nice. And then I will join her war against the Pope. I just need to negotiate an alliance and then offer you to join your war. War against the tyranny of Pope Innocentius II. As I said, this is a two-tier campaign, if you will. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to hopefully destroy the Pope with whatever we have. We just need to fight him here, basically. A killing weapon of fame. What is this? My lord, did he hear the news? My antiquarian Estefani approaches me. The fame of Empress Philippe's Prince Vea's Spear of Valor reaches far and wide and keeps growing. Everybody speaks with admiration of the invincible weapon that cuts down enemies as easily as flowers in a field, and of its glorious owner. Very, very cool. Having been used in at least 15 victories on the battlefield, this weapon is renowned for showing the true valor of its owner. Very, very cool. Excellent news. Renowned weapon gives you extra prestige. I love that. Yeah, okay, that's very, very cool. I'm even thinking... See, we have some clear items that will go to the king or to the emperor. But I'm thinking the Crown of Basconiaco and Prince Vea's Spear of Valor, I think they probably should go to the Dukes of Basconiaco. I mean, the crown definitely. The spear, I'm honestly not sure. I might. Right, we're just going to start jogging. We have the ability here, you know, I don't think that we wouldn't use it. We need to fight them. If we don't fight them, the ticking war score will end us. And that is, of course, unacceptable. Yeah, there they go. What is this? Call to war. Sure, it's another war of hers, I suppose. And the war's immediately over? Okay, alright. If you say so. Now, we are undersupplied, but I'm going to take this fight, right? Why wouldn't I take this fight? Is this really a loss? Huh. Interesting. Alright, why don't we go on siege then? And the rest of the army will simply position themselves wisely here. And look at that. Tybalt indeed has intervened. He has protected Carlos. Never back down from a challenge. Yeah, no, that is absolutely what we would tell him. Now, what are you doing, buddy? Oh, and would you look at that? Ebba has fallen ill with cancer, and we're not even there for her. She's dying. We're not even there for her. We are on campaign. Ebba has been an incredible, incredible wife. But man, Emperor Philippe the Great certainly hasn't spent all that much time with her. We had so many very, very close, very tight-knit, you know, relationships where the people really, really stood together. Even Prince Vea had that to a degree, I think. And then I think King Asna and Fakir as well. But no, Emperor Philippe the Great has been largely absent. It's been a political marriage more than anything. And now she is ill and may die without us ever seeing her again. Right, only a miracle can save her. Oneka? Honestly, no, she should choose. I'm not there. I'm not present to actually make this decision. I think she chose... No way. Did she? Oh, okay. Worsened disease symptoms. Well, that is terrible. But I thought for a second that the choice that Ebba made was to do no treatment whatsoever, which would have been, I mean, man, that is rough. But no, I don't think that is what the choice was. And look at that, actually, we became glorious. Was I notified of this? I don't think I was notified of this. It must have been this fame, right? Actually, does that even count? No, it doesn't. It goes via Splendor, right? We are glorious now, which children are born with 800 prestige. Marrying into this dynasty gives 700, and rulers get a maximum of plus 45 long reign bonus. Wow, that is quite significant. That is incredibly significant. I'm quite impressed, quite happy about those numbers. I mean, what can I say, right? Do you think... Did he hire more troops here? If he unifies these troops, we may be in trouble. That is something we have to consider, but I don't know what he's doing here the entire time. Camp dispute. After my army sets up camp, I hear a commotion coming from my knight's lodgings. Investigating the disturbance, I found Count Pierre and Duke Maurice in the middle of a heated argument while several onlookers edged them on. Count Pierre? Ah, right. Yeah, he died in captivity. Count Simon had a terrible ending to his life. Even he was slain in battle. The king of Polsko. Yeah, this comes from the French line, the way they married their way into Poland, and Poland will be unified with the Vasileia Romayon before long. Quite interesting. So you're his son, and you're Duke Maurice, the son of Duke Bouchard, who we very much enjoyed the company of. And man, Duke Maurice is an insane fighter. Wow. We could deliver a speech. We could just go into our tent. I think we need to hold a speech here. My words pull everyone away from the fight. Let's attempt to do that. I get up and deliver a speech about how we are all fighting for the Eromata Imperio Santua and how we must stand against our foes united. Or if we don't, there are many outsiders who would take advantage of our internal squabbles to seize our lands and impose their rule on us. Looking abashed, Count Pierre and Duke Maurice apologize and get ready to settle in for the night. Very cool. Very cool and very legal, and this is not very cool and not very legal indeed. If we get a stress break from this, I will doubtlessly probably not be doing athleticism. Because, I mean, there must be some, you know, awareness, I think, in him, where he sort of feels as though he deserves this stress. And man, the Pope just keeps raising more and more mercenaries. Fighting the Pope is an experience, isn't it? It is an experience. What do we do here? How do I fend him off? You think I can do it just as a commander? Am I good enough as a commander? Maybe. Maybe if I bait him in. But that is a tough one. Let's just head down here for a second. What's he doing? I don't know what he's doing. I have 17k troops here. I want to follow up with them. Nope. Where's he going? Really, this cat and mouse here, I think, is the only real option that we have right now. I'm going to send you over there. Then the other two can stand around just to enjoy the scenery and hopefully, you know, yeah, he's unsieging this now. This is a war of attrition right now. It is uncertain how this will end. A scheme at court. My spymasters come to me with grave news. He is certain that Alva, my own son, is scheming against my patriarch Eneko. I could have him exposed. This deceitful nature, Alva, is exactly why we are not making you emperor. Listen, I love my son. But murder is unacceptable. Oftentimes when we play these games, when we play CK3 and such, we play them in a way where murder is commonplace. It happens so often, but Philippe the Great has done no such thing throughout his life. I will throw you into jail. Yeah. I will move you. Yeah, you're in house arrest. That is where you should be. I do not want to disinherit him. For the sole purpose that I do want his children to inherit. Right? This is, I don't want to be unfair to them, but I think he just has to stay in jail. I think he has to stay there. Once the campaign is over, I will reconsider. For the moment, no. You remain where you are. Now, when it comes to knights, you know what? Obviously, they do deserve to be on the council, but I know a man that probably currently has our ear on the question of military things. Obviously, he's not a great strategist, but he is such an amazing knight. Since he serves on this campaign, or in this campaign, I should say, obviously, I will actually have him go ahead and lead our, you know, campaign for this purpose right now. And the knight effectiveness actually would be amazing. You know what? Let's go with that. Okay. Wow. I didn't realize just how much this actually changes everything when it comes to the organized army change there. Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep doing this. And apparently we are being raided here. The High Chieftain of Smarland, one of the last Asatru survivors, is raiding us, and there's not really much that I can do there. My troops are in the south. That is a bit of a weakness of the Emperor, I suppose, but, I mean, what can you do, right? Do we have a commander that is good at sieging here? I don't... There he is. Yes, let's use him. Let's siege as fast as we can. And she is yet again calling me to war over a liberty war. Sure, I guess. But you know what I'm spying? I am spying starving papal troops. And you know what that means. You absolutely know what that means. It is time to march in and defeat them. I need to make sure that I'm the first one that is actually in. But I think that is already the case. Yeah, we're going to destroy them. At least I hope so. I mean, it would be a disaster if not, I suppose. Right, he's still raiding us. We could sponsor a person. Listen, if I had the money, I would do it. She is renowned throughout the world. Tomai, can I invite you? Can I recruit you to my court? I don't have 50 bucks. If peace comes, I will go ahead and of course recruit her. It's a great opportunity there for us. And look at that, plus 56. Oh my god. That is insane. Now we should be able to make this work with the troops that we have. And indeed, yeah, our knight Duke Philippe killed Julian. Duke Philippe, interesting, right? He is the Duke of Auvergne, the son of our son, Prince Martin. Very good job. I do appreciate that. He imprisoned his wife because she's cheating. Yeah, cheating appears to be very common. Murder, not so much. Cheating, yeah, absolutely. And this battle is a victory. And that is a huge one. That is a massive, massive victory. Indeed, beheading them where they stood. And it brings me to this point now, where we actually have to start sieging down further. The ticking war score that is acting against us right now stems from the fact that they hold Rome. We need to go against this, and you know what, I need to go and clean up there first. Strategical impasse, right. Honestly, we can just unify the strategy. We're good enough, I don't even need to debate this. Why wouldn't I just do the most optimal thing there? We are a great strategic mastermind after all. And oh, as we are fighting in Rome, I think we are simply feeling age a bit. I knew that getting older would mean doing everything slower, but I didn't think it would all come to a halt until my death. Lately I feel a constant malaise, and everything takes more effort than before. I'm worried that if I lie down, I might not be able to get up again. There's no doubt that my time is running out. I feel like I can do naught but to wait. Death's sweet embrace to claim me. We are infirm. We have a severe health penalty. Our natural dread and such of course goes down, and our health is poor. We're not yet dead, but yeah, we're certainly, I think, getting there, aren't we? Once we siege this, we should get the ticking war score in our favor, and the war should be over immediately. At least that is how I hope this will go. Let's leave the sieges right there, and then split you again and just make you replenish your troops. I hope that we can finish this war while he's still alive. I mean, it would be a great achievement. We got Blessed Duca Castore's dagger. I hope that nothing comes of it. An artist of death. A strange mercenary has come to my court from faraway lands. She is a woman for one thing, though not too old. She bears a number of battle wounds, and her demeanor suggests she is tough as nails. She tells me, if a bit ominously, death is my art, and like all artists, I seek a patron. For a mere handful of gold, I will follow you into any danger. Huh. Dangerous Amazonian bodyguard. No, that's fine. A woman thinks she... No, absolutely not. That is just inadequate. I will make her my bodyguard. I think now that we can't fight all that well anymore, and it's actually kind of untrue because Chanson de Geste, of course, counters 5 out of 6 infirm points. We're still an amazing fighter. I will hire her. This fits directly in, you know, who we are as a culture. Absolutely. Yeah. The prestige lost there makes no sense. I mean, religiously speaking, I suppose, but it makes no sense in regards to, you know, our actual position in the world, where we are actually quite equal when it comes to cultural assumptions. What is this stuff? Right, our grand-son-in-law, if that is a title, I don't think it is, but he is fighting Serbia for Upper Bosnia. He will be finishing it in just a second. I have to tell you, grandson, sadly, I won't actually be able to join you in this war to begin with. I'm not going to lie to you. I have to win this war, and then I will be going home. I'm infirm. My apologies. I mean, what do you want me to say? He's attacking for land that should be rightfully his. Don't get me wrong here, but I don't think we have the political or the personal goodwill and potential to really get this done. Now let's siege you down, and then we move from there with certainty. I took Tybalt out playing with a bow, and to my surprise, he ran into a wounded doe. He had no hesitation in the slightest to bring it down. Yeah, no, Tybalt. That's a great character trait. That is a great character trait indeed. She's a trained healer. It's quite alright. I don't think we need to bother with this. Oh, I wish I would have been the commander there. That's my bad that I didn't select myself. We do have a siege general right there. Very, very nice. And we have sieged down the Papal States now, meaning we will now be getting ticking war score. Man, I did not know that it would start from 0, I'll be honest with you. Right, another great-grandson. Man, this just really goes to show how old we are. Another great-grandson. Really. Oh, and interestingly enough, in our old age, we are actually making a friend here, Duchess Horislava of Wieden. I'm drinking alone in the tavern. When I suddenly see my friend Duchess Horislava sit down across from me, I quickly make my way over and we spend the rest of the night drinking together. She really knows how to have a good time. Wieden, apparently, shortly before we pass away, very tightly connected on a personal level to Duchess Horislava, and this actually reduced her stress level. Ooh. Vasconia Isurum. You live in Biscaya, so he is a part of Navarra. Interesting. They splintered off, I have to assume, yeah, from House Eniga. Let me just check this. Is there any splinter from Boscarantia? And I missed it. No. Nothing of that sort. This is the first of the new houses in ages. Look at that. The last one, La Rioja, was founded by Gilles, of course, or well, you know, by the Duke that we ousted way back with Vea in 973, and this was founded in 1073. Man, there has been a long gap there. As you can see, we have a minor battle loss here, but that shouldn't really be an issue as the big guys arrive. Alright, now as we come towards the end of the war, we are of course deeply in debt, I mean, what can you say, but possession at court, Tybalt, the child that we had a couple of events with just this episode, has turned out to be possessed. Prince Alva, of course, still under house arrest by us. I don't think that is going to change anytime soon. I need this troublemaker to be out of our hair. Doubtlessly, no matter how we look at it, we love Alva, but Alva, you can't be trusted. He's an untrustworthy lot. Tybalt's condition is equally mysterious and frightening. Possessed. The sudden changes in emotion, awareness, and ability that Tybalt experiences can only be explained by spirits inhabiting his body. According to Patriarch Eneko, a dark being inhabits his body and occasionally manifests itself with uncontrollable power. However, the frequency and intensity of these episodes is causing increasing alarm among my devoted courtiers. It fears that the evil presence will take over and spread chaos and death among us. Oneka reassures me that Tybalt has never been dangerous per se, but my courtiers insist that something be done. He's going to be the future pope. I believe I would trust him here. Exorcise the demon away. Honestly, we are not a very religious person. We're not a person that, you know, bought into the earlier ghost stories. None of that really concerned us, but now it is so close. We didn't ourselves see the spirit of Prince Vea haunt the, you know, castle of La Pordie, but Tybalt? I don't know, he hasn't been a weird child in my surrounding when I was around, but undoubtedly, with the regular exorcisms to keep the evil at bay, Tybalt's condition seems to improve. The power of this holy object. The imposition of your skull cap of Charlemagne is set to cure any ailment. Oh, that is so cool. You know what? Yeah, the skull cap of Charlemagne. It doesn't go away or anything, right? Like, I didn't just sack it? No, okay. Just making sure. Oh, that is nice. The skull cap of Charlemagne will, of course, bless the boy. How else could it be? He will be possessed for, you know, well, basically his entire life anyway. Not really much that can be done. And here we go. First of all, Tybalt's education is at an end. He became an intricate web weaver. He understands how to navigate the court. That is good for him. Now, who should he be married to? That is a question, I think, for next episode. For the moment, I just want to end it here as we finally, there you go, finish this war. Innocentius has been ousted and Pope Anastasius III will now take over. I will not let him be the one to take over. I will actually change this around. I will put Pope Eneko in, or whatever his new name will be. This will essentially be a vassal. We won't vassalize them. The Papal States will remain independent, but I want Eneko to basically create a new era when it comes to the relationship between the Empire and, of course, the Papal States. That is what the war was over, man. This was a very difficult campaign to do, because obviously it was 2 wars, it was like a roundabout way of ousting the Pope by having the internal rebellion and such, but we did it. The wrong Pope is gone. Now our Pope, Patriarch Eneko, shall be joined with the Papal States. Let's do this. And there you go, we have now done it. Pope Gregorius VI has risen at the ripe old age of 69. I very much am in favor of this. Again, it's largely storytelling. It is now the Aita Santuan Luraldea, and he is leading them. He is leading the Papal States, but not just that, he is the shepherd of Christianity as well. And effectively, I suppose, a pawn of the Empire. He is there at our grace rather than us being emperors at the grace of the Church. It is a very important, I think, to point out the change of the power dynamic here, because and there you go, I have instituted Pope Gregorius VI. Let's take a look at this. He is back in the actual beautiful, beautiful cathedral right here. And I really want to point out, and it is very, very important to me that I do point this out. I want to point out that Pope Gregorius VI effectively is the turnaround of the power hierarchy that we had under Pope Stephanus V. The idea of this bad Pope, Pope Innocentius II, to take over was too much to bear. So much so that now the Papal States got completely busted, completely destroyed. Rome was sieged by us. And now, instead of the Emperor basically being the tool of the Pope appears to suddenly be the Emperor's tool. And this is interesting because when we, of course, you know, eventually, I would argue maybe even quite soon, we are 72 years old, of course, but when we look at the situation, I think the relationship the Empire has and that we as a new character will eventually have with the Empire is quite a bit different than it would have been had we not taken down the Pope. I'm very excited to explore that. I think honestly the last episode or the next episode may very well be the last one for Emperor Philippe the Great and how much he achieved. Isn't that incredible? We're definitely going towards hostility here for the Ruthenians, for the struggle of the Rus, and then compromise will very soon be reached for the Iberians. Quite interesting to see. Anyway, I will see you in the next episode. See you later, alligator.